Good morning. My name is Mighty Rodriguez, and I'm going to talk about first the slope of a rectilinear line. So, the slope of a rectilinear line is the measure of delta y divided by delta x. And delta y is basically y2 minus y1. And delta x is basically x2 minus x1. And you can formulate the formula as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. In order to construct a rectilinear line, you need to plug in at least 2 points. For example, 1, 3. And given those 2 points, you can use the formula to form a rectilinear line. Now, the equation of a rectilinear line is y equals y0 or y initial plus m, or the slope, times x minus x0. And you find this by first using the formula for slope. So you take m equals delta y over delta x, and you can formulate that as delta y equals m times delta x. Then you can take y minus y0 equals m times x minus x0, and you can add y0 or y initial to the other side. Now we can rewrite the equation of a rectilinear line using x and t. So instead of m being equal to delta y over delta x, it will now be equal to delta x over delta t. And the slope, instead of formulating it as delta y equals slope times delta x, you can say delta x equals the slope times delta t. Now, to write the actual equation of a rectilinear line using x and t rather than y and x, it would be x equals the slope times t minus t0 plus x0. And what you call the slope in terms of x and t is velocity, because now you are using different units. Rather than before you were using meters and meters, now you are using meters per second. Now we can talk about an example of motion in constant velocity. So, for example, let's say that someone is here at x 0 or x initial, and this equals two. Now let's say that let's say that they are moving at 10 meters per second. So, in 1 second, the man is here at 2 meters. But in another second, here, the man would be at 12 meters. And this can be shown using the equation xt equals x0 or x initial plus v times t. And using my example, we could say that xt equals 2, because 2 is x0 or x initial, plus 10, because 10 is the velocity, or how much is being moved per second, times t, which is the seconds in this case. Okay. Now we can move on to talk about motion when velocity is not constant, but it is increasing at a constant rate or decreasing at a constant rate. So when this happens, you will have a different slope formula. This time it would be delta v over delta t. So basically the velocity over time. And this new equation is called acceleration. And the units for this new equation is meters per second squared, because there is a constant rate of acceleration. And when you use this new formula, you have a new equation, which is v equals v0 or v initial plus a, which is the acceleration, times t, which is time. Now you can use this equation to have a graph showing constant acceleration. Basically, the equation of the slope of the line with constant acceleration is v times t equals v0 plus a times t, as we said before. And delta v is equal to v minus v initial. And delta t is equal to t minus t initial. And in order to find the average velocity or the average rate of acceleration, you use the formula v0 plus v divided by 2. And that is basically what we have learned up until now.